In a league full of superstars, where basketball legends go head-to-head in search of glory, an underrated team has emerged from the shadows. This is the story of the Dallas Mavericks and how Dirk Nowitzki turned dreams into reality, beating none other than the Blazers, OKC Thunder of Durant, Westbrook and Harden, Lakers of Kobe and Gasol, and the Heat of Lebron James, Wade, and Bosh. Come and see how the Mavericks won the toughest title in NBA history. In the 1998 draft, Dirk Nowitzki was a bold choice for the Dallas Mavericks. Hailing from Germany, he was a little-known player in the NBA, but his exceptional skill caught the eye. The franchise saw in Dirk not just a talent, but the possibility of turning him into the star who could take the team to the next level. Expectations were high, especially as the Mavericks were coming off difficult seasons and needed an identity. Dirk had a lethal shot and a versatility that made him unique, but adapting to the NBA style was a challenge. The franchise invested in his development, believing he could become one of the best. With great potential ahead of him, Nowitzki became the hope of the fans and the centerpiece of a rebuild aimed at a bright future for the Dallas Mavericks. That long-term vision would eventually come to fruition, but not without challenges along the way. Dirk Nowitzki faced a number of challenges in his first few seasons in the NBA. Despite his undeniable talent, adapting to the league game wasn't easy. He arrived at the Mavericks at a time when the team was struggling to find its identity and win. The pressure on Dirk was immense, especially as he was a long-awaited draft pick. In his early years, Dirk struggled to cope with the intensity and physicality of American basketball. Criticism of his stamina and the perception that he was soft quickly arose. Fans and some analysts questioned whether he was the right choice, and there were doubts about his ability to become a star. In addition, the Maverick style of play didn't always align with Dirk's, which hindered his progress. Injuries were also a factor, limiting his time on the court and his consistency. These difficulties tested not only his skills, but also his determination and work ethic. But instead of letting the criticism get to him, Dirk dedicated himself to improving. He worked tirelessly on his game, adjusting his shot and strengthening his body. This resilience was crucial, as he began to show signs that he was becoming the key piece that Dallas so desperately needed. These early battles, far from being insurmountable obstacles, shaped Dirk into one of the greatest players in NBA history. The evolution of Dirk Nowitzki's game is an inspiring story of dedication and adaptation. In his early years, his shot was already promising, but he knew he needed to refine it to excel in the NBA. Dirk spent hours in the gym, practicing his mechanics and developing one of the most unmistakable shots in history, the famous fadeaway, which became a trademark. What's more, his work ethic was relentless. Not only did Dirk focus on his shot, but he also strove to improve his physical strength and endurance. He dedicated himself to specific training sessions that helped him become a more complete player, both on offense and defense. This constant commitment to improvement was fundamental to his rise. Over time, Dirk became a dominant force in the league, being able to create his own shot from anywhere on the floor. His ability to space the game and his tactical knowledge allowed him to exploit opposing defenses, making him a real nightmare for opponents. He wasn't just a shooter. Dirk transformed into a multifaceted player who could contribute in many ways, solidifying his place as one of the NBA's stars. This evolution not only elevated his game, but also that of the Dallas Mavericks. Dallas was coming. Series in the first round of the 2011 playoffs was a crucial test for the Dallas Mavericks, not only because of the quality of the opponent, but also because of the franchise's recent history in the playoffs. The Mavericks entered as the third seed in the Western Conference, while the Blazers were the sixth seed. Game 1 was very even from start to finish, with a private duel between LaMarcus Aldridge and Dirk Nowitzki, but in the end it was the German who shone and Dallas won the game 89-81, taking a 1-0 lead in the series. Nowitzki scored 28 points in that game. In Game 2, also at home, Dallas took a 2-0 lead in the series with another absurd game from Dirk Nowitzki, scoring 33 points and leading Dallas at crucial moments in the game to beat Aldridge and the entire Blazers. The team from Texas traveled to Oregon with a big lead in their hands. In Game 3, the Mavs had another great game from Nowitzki with 25 points, and Jason Terry coming off the bench with 29 points, trying to make it 3-0 in the series. But with great play from Aldridge and Wesley Matthis, the Blazers avoided the 3 loss and reduced Dallas' lead to 2-1. Game 4 was very tight, with a final score of 84-82 for the Blazers, and a great team game from the Oregon team. Nowitzki had a lackluster game, but still scored 20 points that weren't enough for Dallas to win, and the series went back to Texas tied at 2-2. Nowitzki made his comeback in Game 5 and led his team to victory, putting the Mavs just one win away from qualifying for the second round of the playoffs. But first they would have to return to Portland to win Game 6, and that's exactly what happened. Dirk shone once again in the decisive game, scoring 33 points and grabbing 11 rebounds to put the Dallas Mavericks into the Western semifinals after a great series against the Portland Trail Blazers. Now the real test for the Mavs was about to begin. The team of Nowitzki, Jason Terry and Jason Kidd would face one of the teams favored to win the title, the Lakers of Kobe Bryant and Pau Gasol, who had finished second in the Western Conference and had beaten the Pelicans 4-2. The Mavericks entered the series as the underrated team, facing the Lakers, who were the defending champions and favorites. The series became a crucial clash in Dallas' quest for their first NBA title. The series began in Los Angeles. Dallas pulled off a surprise by beating the Lakers 96-94, with Dirk Nowitzki leading the team with 28 points. The victory was marked by strong defense and decisive plays in the final moments. In the second game, the Mavericks kept up the pace and won again, this time 93-81. The team showed relentless defense, controlling the game and limiting the Lakers' attack. Nowitzki was once again the standout, contributing important points and rebounds.
That's ridiculous. Back tap, controlled by the Mavs, and they take advantage of three for Nowitzki.
A more experienced team, and of course they've got this guy with the ball right now, Dirk Nowitzki.
Oh, Nowitzki, a wild shot, yes, and the foul.
The series moved to Dallas, where the Mavericks continued to surprise. In the third game, they beat the Lakers 98-92, led by a spectacular Nowitzki, who scored 29 points. The atmosphere in Dallas was electric, and the Mavericks showed confidence in every play.
Arian gets him a new 24. Nowitzki for three. Oh! Nowitzki, hand in his face, knocks it down. The shot makes it a 6-point game. Nowitzki, a three. Nowitzki drives on Gasol, stops, left-handed, flips it up and in.
A decisive game took place once again in Dallas. With the possibility of a sweep, the Mavericks didn't let the opportunity slip away and beat the Lakers 122-86. It was a dominant display, with the team showing its full potential. Nowitzki and his teammates played with precision, and the defense was exceptional. The 4-0 sweep was a milestone in Mavericks history, not only for eliminating the defending champions, but also for the impressive way they dominated the series. Dirk Nowitzki was key, showing his talent and leadership, while the team as a whole proved to be a force to be reckoned with in the quest for the title. After sweeping the Lakers, the Mavericks faced the Thunder, a young and explosive team led by Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. The series promised great clashes between the playing styles of the two teams. The Mavs were just one series away from going to the NBA Finals and trying for their first title in history, but everyone was favoring the OKC Thunder, both because the Mavs were very underrated that season and because OKC had an absurd core, especially with Kevin Durant playing the best ball of the time. Game 1 was in Dallas, and it was a spectacular duel between Kevin Durant and Dirk Nowitzki, with the German scoring 48 points and KD scoring 40. But in the end, it was Dallas with a 121-112 victory, and that first game only showed how electrifying and exciting the series would be, and it got even more so after Game 2.
Nowitzki cutting to the basket, and a foul! So now on Nowitzki, off balance. Look at that touch. Doing his best. Oh, Nowitzki, little fake, pull up, puts it in. Puts it up, puts it in. Nowitzki, it's good.
In the second game, the top scorers continued to be KD with 24 points and Dirk with 29, but OKC's collective was brilliant in this game and featured an absurd game from James Harden coming off the bench with 23 points, being decisive in the Thunder's tie in the series, now returning to Oklahoma with the score at 1-1. Even though the Thunder had the upper hand, as they would be playing 2 games at home having stolen the lead, Nowitzki was ready to shock the world once again. In Game 3, OKC tried, but the Mavs collective showed up, led once again by Dirk Nowitzki's 18 points, and the Mavs regained home court advantage, winning a very important away game. In the next game, OKC went all out to show their strength on home soil, so as not to let the series slip to 3-1, but Nowitzki had a memorable 40-point game and left the Mavs just one win away from reaching the long-awaited NBA Finals.
Nothing quick about it, just takes his time and gets where he wants to go. Nowitzki from the foul line. Still plenty of time on the shot clock, pulls up, puts it in. Nowitzki on the drive, nice fake, puts it up, puts it in. Now Collison turning, falling away. Oh, he puts it in. Nowitzki kicks it out in the corner. Kid fakes, fires a three.
But for that, they would need to confirm their victory in Game 5, with the series going back to Dallas. Game 5 was very even, with OKC's Big Three trying to do everything they could to stay alive in the series. But Nowitzki and Shaw Marion, both with 26 points, led the Mavs to the NBA Finals, with an extremely solid campaign in the West, passing the Blazers with some ease, sweeping the Lakers, the reigning champions, and applying a resounding 4-1 to OKC's great young team. And yes, even with all that, the Mavs were still considered underdogs in the NBA Finals, all because they were going to face a Heat with D. Wade and Chris Bosh in the prime, along with a certain LeBron James who had just joined the franchise in search of his first title. LeBron went to Miami just waiting for that moment to be champion, and the Mavs' mission would be almost impossible. And with that scenario, the NBA Finals began. The 2011 NBA Finals were an epic duel between the Dallas Mavericks and the Miami Heat. The first game took place in Miami, where the Heat, made up of stars such as LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, won 92-84. Dirk Nowitzki put in a solid performance, but the team couldn't overcome the Heat's intense immense defense. The second game was a crucial turning point. In an intense game, Dallas won 95-93, with Nowitzki once again standing out, scoring 24 points. The game was decided in the final moments, when Nowitzki made a layup in the final seconds to tie the series.
Point lead in the final minutes of the second quarter, so a 19-point turnaround. And he's got to be aggressive. Nowitzki knocks it down. Goes Marion. Back to Nowitzki. Lefty layup. Bang! Terry to Nowitzki. Puts up the three. Puts it in! Dallas goes up by 3 with 26.7 remaining. 7 to shoot. Nowitzki drives. Goes underneath. Lefty layup. Banks it in with 3.6 remaining. Miami out of timeouts. Trailing by 2. James back to Wade. Wade puts it up for the win. Off the mark, and Dallas has tied the finals.
Game 3, however, was a turning point. In Dallas, the Heat came back stronger and won 88-86. The Miami team showed their defensive strength and took advantage of the speed of their stars, especially LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Now with the lead in the series, Miami seemed to be taking control. In Game 4 of the 2011 NBA Finals, held in Dallas, the Mavericks were determined to regain the lead in the series after losing the previous game. The atmosphere at the American Airlines Center was electrifying, with fans eager to support their team. Dallas started strong, establishing a solid defense and an efficient offense. Dirk Nowitzki was in great form, showing off his famous long-range shooting and ability in the paint. He finished the game with 21 points, as well as contributing important rebounds. The fourth quarter was a real test of endurance. With the Mavericks ahead, Miami struggled to stay in the game, but Dallas showed admirable emotional control, maintaining the lead and securing the 86-83 victory. This victory not only leveled the series at 2-2, but also gave the Mavericks the confidence they needed to face the Heat in the following games.
Scoop layup, banks it in. He's going too early. Drives underneath, layup, he puts it in! Nowitzki makes it a 3-point game. Timeout, Miami. Gets it to Miller. Miller puts it up. Air ball! And that's it!
Game 5 was a decisive game. Whoever won would open up a 3-2 lead in the series and be just one win away from becoming NBA champions. And the atmosphere in Dallas was gigantic, and the Mavs knew that going back to Miami losing would be very dangerous, so they gave it their all in Game 5. LeBron James looked very nervous in the game and had a very poor game, unlike Dirk Nowitzki, who scored 29 points and led the Mavs to a 112-103 victory, leaving the dream of winning the first title in Dallas very close, with just one win in Miami to achieve his great goal. In Game 6, the Heat did everything and tried everything, but the dream of a title for LeBron James was postponed once again. Dirk Nowitzki's underrated Dallas Mavericks played a super solid game, with the German scoring 21 points and being instrumental in the team's victory, but it was Jason Terry who shone in Game 6 with 27 points, giving the Dallas Mavericks the victory and the long-awaited title, the first in their history.
The time that you put in. He has had a number of games in these playoffs and brings it back out. Nowitzki on the pull-up trying. Nowitzki will try another 3. Puts it in. Terry to Nowitzki. Nowitzki open jump shot.
Terry making the play and finding Dirk Nowitzki.
Nowitzki lays it in with the left hand.
I think that's the way they should play.
Nowitzki puts it up. Puts it in. Dirk Nowitzki makes it a 10-point game.
Dirk Nowitzki was voted MVP of the finals, crowning his reign in possibly the most difficult and underrated title in NBA history. The Dallas Mavericks' 2011 title win is undoubtedly the most difficult in NBA history, and this can be attributed to several crucial factors. Firstly, the Mavericks faced exceptional competition, overcoming legendary teams such as the Los Angeles Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder, as well as, of course, defeating the mighty Miami Heat, who boasted superstars such as LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Each series was marked by immense challenges, with Dallas being considered underdogs in almost every game, but showing impressive resilience and team spirit. In addition, Dirk Nowitzki's journey from promising youngster to finals MVP is a testament to hard work and perseverance, facing criticism and doubt throughout his career. This title was not just a sporting achievement, it was a statement that teamwork, dedication, and belief in oneself can overcome even the most formidable adversity. The 2011 Mavericks didn't just win a trophy, they also left an inspiring legacy, showing that great things can come about when a group unites around a common dream. This title, therefore, transcended the simple act of winning. It was proof that sometimes true victory lies in overcoming unimaginable challenges and becoming part of sporting history.